This kind of pivots into something someone asked me last week, which was about kind of rotating accounts, and was to take this higher overall. Some of it was taken out of context, typical 160 quid. Come down and do me. Don't want to go. Yeah, like I say always, even if you don't feel like doing something, get it done. What's going on, guys and girls? How we doing? It's Monday morning, just on my walk, getting them 10k steps in. Make sure you're getting out, getting moving. It's important. I know I say it every week, but I'm going to keep saying it because you need to do it. Quiet morning for me on the charts, not a lot happened. Kind of stuck in between some key levels on some of the pairs. Asia was quite large as well, and Asia tends to be quite large. London tends to be a little bit mental. Got a lot of Euro news today as well, quite big news, so waiting to see what happens there. Obviously it's NFP week, hell of a lot of stuff going down. There'll be a lot of opportunity, but there'll also be a lot of manipulation and mucking around. Something just flew into my head, don't know what it was. But yeah, other than that, decided for the month of May, I'm gonna cut out bread. I'm gonna cut out all kinds of bread, pitters, wraps, just because it's one thing I've never cut out, right? And I've been doing some research, doing some reading, and obviously I spoke about before the gut issues that I have, like the little pain I've had for a long time. Those who've been watching the videos will know. It comes and it goes, but one thing I've never stopped having is bread. I know there's a lot of people that are against bread. I enjoy it, I like it, like a piece of sourdough. I don't have loads of it, but I'll have a sourdough and egg, and then I might have like a wrap or a pitta in the afternoon or for dinner. And I'm just wondering if too much bread. Also trying to really lock in on my training. I've decided to, you know, start running again as well. So the days that I'm not at the gym, I'm going to start running. Nothing mental, just like a little 3k here and there, maybe a 5k. Obviously I'm cautious of, you know, the knee injury I picked up before. Road running is quite harsh on the knees, but I've got some decent shoes. I'm going to go at a decent pace, not trying to rush any time. More for cardiovascular health than anything else, to be honest. Obviously I go gym 3 times a week. I do 10,000 steps a day. But at the same time, there's a little private jet landing. At the same time, like, I don't do too much cardio. At the end of every session, I do like a 1,000 meter row. But yeah, just something. I was watching a video the other day, I can't remember who it was, I think it was James. And he was saying how, James Smith, and he was saying how, like, you know, you should be able to run a 3k pretty easily as an adult. If you can't, you need to sort it out basically. So I enjoy running, I just stopped for a long time. It's quite harsh on the old legs. So I'm gonna give that a whirl, see how that goes. So I'll start tomorrow, up nice and early, back on that. Just want to get really locked in with like fitness and health. I've been massive on it anyway. Those of you that follow the journey, you know, I've come a long way from where I used to be, and I've never been that way before. I've always been sporty, athletic, fit, but I let myself go a lot because of trading, stresses, pressures, comfort, you know, and it's very easy to fall into that trap, right? Bored at home, go downstairs, eat stuff, like just waste of time, pointless. When we're emotional, when we're bored, we tend to find ourselves in the fridge. So just want to really lock in. So I keep you updated on how all that goes. A couple of different ideas and business things I want to sort out and just implement and explore as well. And yeah, just going to keep bringing you guys and girls along for the journey and see where we end up. Glad that a lot of you took value last week when I was talking about edges and stuff. Like I say, you know, if your edge, you haven't experienced that, then completely ignore it. But if you didn't watch that video where I discussed like an edge in more depth, I'd highly recommend checking it out. I'll put it up here somewhere. It was last week's video, so it's easy to find. But yeah, you know, like things can change, and someone said to me, does that mean if I had a few losses I should change everything? No, I'm not saying that. Obviously you need a decent sample size, but you yourself know if you've been consistent, if you've made money, and then all of a sudden what you're doing doesn't work in like 3 months, 6 months, a year, you keep taking L's, things keep getting disrespected, plain. Never get it in the camera, man. Yeah, then obviously, you know, you need to make a decision on whether you change or adapt, because sometimes it's like hitting your head off a brick wall. If something's not working and you just keep doing it, it's kind of mental doing the same thing on repeat, expecting a different outcome. So if your edge isn't working, and it can happen, and people don't like hearing it, and I get it, it's not glamorous, but it's fucking real, man. And you've got to hear the real shit. There's no point in sugarcoating everything and telling you everything's gonna be all right, you're gonna smash it, like it's gonna be easy, this journey. You know, you need to know, actually it's not, it's gonna be hard. You can smash it, and you will smash it, provided you have the correct attitude, but you have to deal with these things that happen and overcome them and adapt and grow. And to be honest, trading, it's a never-ending journey of self-development and self-growth. So you have to be on board with that. If you're just like Big Dave, come out the pub, heard your mate talk about FTMO, gone to gold, hit 50 lots and hope for the best, maybe it's not for you. I said yesterday I tweeted, which caused a load of controversy, which wasn't even intended. It was more to spark debate and opinion, which some of it was great, some of it was taken out of context, typical people moaning about. I basically said, should prop firms be bringing in like a max 2% risk of rule per trade or per day, for example? I'm not sure how, again, theorizing. And should there be some sort of rule in how much profit you can take per payout, whether that be 5%, 6%, 7%. I said 5. So again, it's just something to think about. I wasn't saying that's it, you have to do this, this is what props should do. But I want props to stick around, and if that means that some things have to change in order for them to stick around, then I'm completely for that, man. Like, it doesn't affect me. Yes, it's tough, but you can go and trade your own money if you don't like it. And obviously you've got Darwinex. You should do all three. I don't see why you wouldn't. Trade copy, Traders Connect and sort you out. But yeah, I carry on walking. It's getting noisy, so I don't know if you can hear me. I'll pick this up in a little bit. What's happening, people? How we doing? It's 5:30. I'm just making dinner for the girls. So they're coming back from dance. And yeah, I basically caught a trade on gold this afternoon. So I took a crap trade on EU, which I'll show you tomorrow. That was on one account. And then I took a trade on gold this afternoon, which has just hit TP. And it's missed TP. Sorry, it's missed the profit target by 160 quid. I don't know if you can see that. But I decided to get in with a smaller lot and it's going against me. So I've got a stop loss. If I lose 100 quid, I lose 100 quid. I need 140 quid to pass it, or around about that. Yeah, I'll show you tomorrow because I'm making dinner now. I'm just gonna wind down and chill out. But my alert went off, so I thought I'd have a look, and I need to get better at setting my TPs that little bit above what I actually need. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because, again, I was targeting the high. I already had to let it run a little bit more than I wanted, but because of the challenge and this profit target, obviously it needs that little bit more. I'm not moaning, I'm just saying it's one of these things that, again, as I said last time on the 200k that I passed, it's very easy to now go and hit it with a crazy lot and end up needing 5 or 6 grand. It's Tuesday morning, going for my first run in a long time. Not gonna lie, don't want to go, which makes it more important to go. Get it done, see how we go. Not gonna not pushing for a particular time run, just gonna ease into it, see how we get on, and go from there. So I'll let you know in a minute. But it's important to come out your comfort zone and do stuff that you don't normally do. Push yourself, test yourself, and see obviously what you can do. I believe that every day you should be doing something that you don't really want to do, whatever that might be. Getting up, getting it done, pushing yourself. If you can do that, have that attitude every day, then you'll see a lot of growth, a lot of discipline. So without further ado, headphones on. Still need a decent Spotify playlist. At the moment I'm going to roll with the hardest geezer, but if anyone's got any sick Spotify playlists, fire them over. What's happening, people? First coffee of the day, school run done. Took Bruno out for a walk. I'm going to go for my own walk in a moment. No, we've already been for one. You're not going for another one. So yeah, just on the charts at the minute, I thought I would show you yesterday's trades. And I'm also in an EU trade at the minute. So let me pull up the chart in a second. So once we took out Asia lows, my bias after coming out of this daily level was to take this higher overall. So I basically got in here, I was a little bit late to the chart and it was a little bit out of my session, but I liked the level. So I decided to hit it. To be honest, it was purely just rushing, hadn't took a trade in over a week. And I guess sometimes you just put pressure on yourself. And obviously with filming vlogs and different stuff, you want to get the good stuff in it. And, you know, I told myself that I wouldn't let that affect me. So not good from me there, but it's something that I can take on the chin. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not going to dwell on it. It's unfortunate that I took that trade, but, you know, it is what it is. So I took the L there. Obviously we got taken out and then it ran. So I was just a little bit early, got induced or whatever you want to call it. And then I took a long on gold. Where did I get in? Got in here. So took out these lows and I basically just hit this on the 5 minute in here as we rejected. Something I've noticed with gold, this isn't something I do on EU, but on gold when it runs certain levels it can be pretty aggressive out. So as long as I get a nice reaction, you know, you've only got to go over a lot of these, like look at the reactions you get out of these levels. If you compare them with like a thesis and a bias, then happy days. And I targeted this high. I put my stop here. I put my TP here on the phase 1. And yeah, it didn't quite make it. And then since then, I carried on trying to buy with very small lots, and I've probably lost about 400 quid. So I now need to make about £600 past phase one. It is what it is. The good thing is I didn't get in with like 50 lots or something bonkers. I was using 0.25s, 0.50s, and I was having a stop loss. This kind of pivots into something someone asked me last week, which was about kind of rotating accounts and diversifying across different accounts. It's something that I mentioned I was going to start doing a couple of months ago, and I have been doing. To be honest, there's pros and cons, right? And as you know, I'll keep it real and I'll cover both bases with you. When you rotate accounts, the good thing with it is some accounts are not going to take trades and probably not going to take L's. However, they're also not going to take the wins, whereas other trades are going to take wins and probably get there a lot quicker. So for example, like yesterday, that phase one, that hadn't taken some of the L's that some of my other accounts had taken. So once I caught one move on gold, it was done. Whereas on some of the other accounts, I didn't take it and they're still in drawdown. So pivoting accounts and like recycling them as such, it's powerful. Let's say you had 4 accounts and you were like, right, Monday I trade this one. Whatever happens, Tuesday, next one, Wednesday, next one, Thursday, next one. It would be very hard for you to get like 8 losses per account and blow them all up. Unless you're obviously being a nutcase, but then that's your own beef. So that's something I've started doing. It seems to be good, but it's taking longer to pass some. The ones that go in drawdown as well, they are just going into deep drawdown because I've typically caught all the L's on those accounts and all the wins on the other accounts. So again, you have to be okay with, okay, I might blow some, but I'm recycling others. You're not doing anything weird or malicious or gambly. You're just, rather than trading all your capital as one, you've kind of split it up. Again, the pro to that is if you have a bad moment, not all your accounts are in drawdown. The con is, 1, you're not utilising all the capital you have, and 2, it's going to take you a lot longer to get all of that capital as a bulk. But it was something I wanted to try and experiment, and I'll continue doing for now, just because it seems to be cool. It seems to be working well, so I'll give it a whirl. You know, at the end of the day, I don't need to have 10 million in funding or anything like that, and I'm not looking for anyone's validation to show off how much funding I've got. Couldn't care less. I'm just documenting and sharing what it's like being a trader and business and all the other stuff, and look back in 10 years and be like, right, man's grown a lot, you know. So that's the plan. And also, sorry, I'm in EU, which let me pull up as well so you can see. So EU, I wanted to get in down here. However, school run, I was a little bit early. It was a little bit early for me. We'd run this low, which kind of sold it to me. If we'd left equals, I probably wouldn't have touched them. Now, you might think they're equal still because that's not a major sweep. We've only taken it out by like, not even a pip, I don't think. Yeah, like 0.3. So it's not loads. And I'm aware that that could come down and do me. But once it came back and remitigated this, I was happy to get in. Again, I was driving and stuff, and I'm not trying to pull over on the side of the road to catch trades. It's just dangerous. And when I'm with the girls and stuff, that's my priority, not trading. So we'll see what happens here. I'll keep you posted. Keep my eye on gold because I would like to get gold done on the alpha account. I didn't take this on the alpha account because, again, I've rotated that on a separate probabilities. I'm trying to follow probabilities on different pairs. I was also looking at GU for longs as well, but it didn't quite give me what I wanted to see. So yeah, that's me done for now. I'm going to have my coffee, going to catch up on a couple of bits I need to catch up on, then probably go for my own walk. The weather's beautiful. It's absolutely beaming, so love that. Had a fantastic run this morning as well. Did it in a decent time, even though the time's not really a big thing for me at the moment. I wanted to see, you know, do I just have 3k in the locker after a year? And yeah, I did. And I didn't struggle too much, to be honest, but I'm conscious of not trying to push myself too far too quick. It's Wednesday morning. I'm in the car on the way to the gym. I ache this morning, man. Like, feel like I've been beaten up in my sleep. That run's definitely, it's just impacted my body a little bit. But got up, yoga, nice stretching. I warm up in the gym. Got pull session today, so looking forward to that. I'm just going to get on with it. Often when I sit around, I end up seizing up. It doesn't help that I sleep on my side either, so I think I've just seized up overnight. A bit of lactic acid build up. I had stretched before and after, but I think my body was just a little bit like, yo, what are you doing, bro? You're running, like, rah. So it feels like I've been 20 rounds with freaking Mike Tyson in his prime, and I think he won. But it's all good. Other than that, yesterday, EU, the long, hit TP, took 3% off that trade. Obviously, it is FOMC, so I don't think I'll be trading today, but, you know, never say never. I'll still do my usual, look at the charts and that. And then after that, I'll probably wait. We're going to see liquidity built and then everything. And then obviously we've got NFP tomorrow, Friday, right? So it's going to be one of those weeks this week. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with the gym, smash the gym out. And yeah, like I say always, even if you don't feel like doing something, get it done. That's when the growth happens. Trim done. Feeling fresh. Feeling good. You can't get a fresh haircut Just got some lunch. Was just looking at last month's Darwinex leaderboard. If you're not in Darwinex, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check it out. If you use code ALB20, you can save yourself a little bit of dough off the initial payment. Darwinex is something, as I've mentioned many a time, I'll link a video that explains it in more depth. Worth having in the background, worth copying across from Traders Connect. I'll 100% think Darwinex is something that every trader should have. They put together like a little leaderboard for me, just like a little bit of healthy competition. So last month, April 2024, as you can see here, these are all the people we've got on it. These are the ones that are obviously on Darwin that have come off of the risk engine. You can go into this, you can look at like obviously their max drawdown 7%, the risk over the return over the last 6 months is 23%. So this is sick. Whoever this is, I don't actually know, but big ups yourself. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe creating some kind of, I don't know, I said it before, like maybe the top 3 people, we do some kind of prizes or something. I need to talk to Darwinex to see if they can give me access or contact these people, because obviously I don't know who these people are. I can just see their ticker. But yeah, if you're not involved, get involved on here. Please remember, it's not about just making as much as you can on the Signal account. If you're risking your ass and you're doing crazy shit, it will automatically adjust your risk, and it might knock the risk down, it might knock the risk up. Personally, I'd say risk 0.5%, and depending on how you trade, the risk engine will do what it does best. It's a very powerful tool, very powerful concept. You should definitely check it out. Give it its time to do its thing. Don't get annoyed. I've had a few people say, I'm up 20%, why is it only showing 10? Because you've just risked too much, and if you've risked too much, it will dial it back. Again, to protect investors, to protect yourself. It's a fair playing field for everyone. I've done an interview with the CEO, which is on my Sips, Pips and Tips channel. I've made an in-depth video about it. I speak on it every week. It's incredible. Definitely check it out. And like I say, I'll leave links in the description. Other than that, I'm going to eat my lunch. Obviously, we've got ISM news this afternoon, so I'll probably just chill. FOMC tonight. I'll be honest, I'm not going to do a lot. I'll jump on a call with Kieran for a little bit in a minute. And yeah, see what happens. Saturday people, it's Thursday. Just made a coffee and a rice cake with peanut butter and banana on it. Actually slaps. So yeah, low calories and all that jazz. Gives me some fats and stuff, but a little bit better than the old squares bars. And obviously just trying to really clean up the diet, but still have a few bits and bobs that I like, having enjoyment. As I said before, it's about balance. I don't care what anyone says, you have to find balance in everything that you do. Some people go too far one way, they go on this crazy diet. You see people go on these 12-week plans, get shredded, look great. However, then they go back to all their old habits and eating crap and doing whatever because they miss it. I would rather have bits and bobs throughout the week, adding and adjusting into my calories, living sort of 80-20, where 80% of my food is clean, 20% I'm allowed to indulge if I want to. Again, I'm not trying to be a freaking bodybuilder, I'm not trying to be an athlete, I'm just trying to be healthy and fit, enjoy life. I like food, I'm a foodie. So a lot of people asked me before about, weight loss and stuff. Yeah, I went on a big journey. It took me a little bit longer than perhaps it could have, but I did it in a way that was sustainable for myself, that I enjoyed, and I'm still enjoying to this day. Now I'm just focused on trying to build a bit more muscle back and just get into a bit more of a leaner build without compromising so much muscle. I did compromise quite a bit when I lost the weight due to different injuries and stuff as well, not being able to train, but it's all good. So yeah, I'm doing that, and then just watching the charts, to be honest. Not a lot happening at the minute. Trying to get this other alpha done. I think I need like 800 quid on it now or something. I've been taking little one lot scalps with small stops just to try and get it done. I just got unlucky a few times, took a few little L's. It's the annoying thing about challenges. I think one thing I think prop firms should do, and I know why they don't, is because obviously the whole premise of the model is obviously built on failure. I completely get that, but I'd gone over equity wise by about 40 quid, and I feel like that should be honoured, because by the time I'd closed it, it had slipped me back under. It is what it is, I'm not complaining, but obviously it just puts me in a position now where I have to be mindful with the way that I'm trading. I'm not looking to get in with big lots. I could have, and I probably would have done it by now, but there's always that risk if you hit a challenge when you only need a couple of hundred quid with big size, or like your normal 1% risk. There's no need to risk 1%. Obviously part of me just wants to get it done for this week so I can go phase 2 next week on that account as well. But in doing that, I've gone from needing like 100 quid to needing 200 quid to needing 300 quid to needing 800 quid to needing 300 quid to back to needing like 800 or 600 quid. So a little bit annoying, but I'm just going to watch and see what happens on gold. The only reason I'm doing it on gold is purely because it just moves a lot more. You don't need as much, and I'm only, like I say, I'm only hitting one lot. Whereas if I hit one lots on EU or GU, it's probably going to need a little bit more. I'm just going to have this, and I'm going to watch the Stephen Bartlett and Russ Cook podcast. Obviously, Russ ran across Africa. Super interesting story, super interesting dude. So I'm going to watch his podcast, and then go for a walk of my own, get my steps in. We had a mad thunderstorm yesterday. It was crazy. Woke me up in the middle of the night. It was lightning and everything, but we move. I'm going to eat this, drink my coffee, watch a pod, see what the charts are saying, and I'll pick this up in a bit. What's happening, people? It's Friday morning. I'm at the desk, just watching the charts, just finished eating a 4-egg omelette with chicken. Feeling so much better this week, where I've cut out like breads, wraps, pittas, a lot more carbs, like pastas and things. I'm only having rices and like potato. I feel so much better, more energetic, and obviously just trying to really hone in on getting the right protein in. Finding that a little bit difficult just from foods, like I'm getting like 40 grams per meal, but I'm struggling towards the end of the day to get that extra 20-30 grams. So yeah, if you've got any protein hacks that aren't involved in whey protein or protein bars, let me know, because I'll be interested to see what people are up to. I'm just trying to, at the moment, experiment and obviously having as much meat and stuff as possible. Lots of veggies, fruits and bits and bobs. Feeling really good. Been a really good week. I also passed Alpha yesterday, so I did get that account over the line. I'm not going to lie to you all, it was an absolute slog, purely because I'll put it on the screen because I don't think the camera focuses, and I'll put the date so people don't think it's like an old one or some shit. But it's mad that you have to do that these days, isn't it? But whatevs. It was quite a slog. Like I started risking quite small lots, like I said, and I ended up going down about 700-800 quid. Just caught a lot of like a few L's, you know what I mean? And I was being real. I wasn't taking like A+ setups or anything. I was just taking trades through the week. Made it quite difficult, and then yesterday I just decided, right, look, stop fucking around. You know, here's a good setup. Hit it with, I think I hit it with like 3 lots. And yeah, job done. Happy days. So phase 2 was just it came through straight away last night. So I'll get that on the copier. I'm not going to trade today. It's NFP day. The markets look a little bit poo. There's been some good opportunity through the week. I've had a good week, obviously catching the EU, the gold. So I'm just going to go out for lunch with Steph and just get a coffee, go and get some food, chill out, just do life, man. Like, it's important to just do life. So yeah, like I say, you know, make sure you're getting out, make sure you're doing other stuff. It's really important. I think we're in a time now where sometimes you can get too addicted to, you know, success and trying to do too much. And sometimes you have to look at, you're doing a hell of a lot. And it's not about getting complacent, but it's like you're doing a lot. You do have to enjoy life. And I'm always someone that's like, you know, for me, my family, my relationship, my health, my mental health, you know, the things I like to do that, yeah, perhaps some successful people preach you shouldn't, but I disagree. Like, life's for living. I'm in my prime, and I'm not going to sacrifice days with the family or with the missus, or, you know, going and checking out a new coffee shop or getting some new food or getting some food in the afternoon or whatever it might be, because I should be here because of success. Because once you start to make things too strict, like I said yesterday, diets, whatever it is, you end up wanting to rebel. You end up going so far one way, the pendulum swings back the other way, and that's why people, I believe, end up losing their relationships. They get divorced. They, you know, their kids don't know them, and, you know, a lot of millionaires and billionaires grow up and they're generally depressed. They don't have any family. They've got no one to share it with, you know, and that's not my why. My why is to be able to do what I want, when I want, where I want, whenever I want, with my family, creating memories that last a lifetime, and, you know, having and maintaining that freedom. And for me, being around them, obviously it's bank holiday weekend. You know, I want to make sure that I'm present, you know. And it's funny as well, like I was just thinking a minute ago, like, and again, it's not to be all weird or cringe, but you got to look back and you got to, you know, reflect sometimes. I used to be buzzing for Fridays, you know. I used to be like, yeah, it's Friday the weekend, let's go out, or, you know, I haven't got to get up early, let's sit in bed, eat loads of crap food, you know. And like when it was bank holiday weekend, I'd be like, get in, you know, an extra day, chilling out, don't want to go to that job, hate that place, rah rah rah. And, you know, I see a lot of people nowadays the same, you know, if you hear the radio in the morning, or you hear people when I was in the airport the other day, you know, just getting a drink, people are talking about, oh, it's bank holiday weekend, I can't wait to not have to get up on the Monday. You know, I can't help but think, like, if that's you and if that's how you live your life, have you ever thought that there's more to life than that? And yes, it's not easy, yes, it's tough, but it's doable. You know, if you're living life, you get one shot on this planet, and if you're living it from a state of mind where you don't like what you're doing, you don't like the environment you're in, or you're with someone for the sake of it, or you're at a job because you just have to be at the job. Everybody has a choice, right? Now, I understand circumstances depend, but I took a lot of gambles when I was working, and I take a lot of gambles in my day-to-day life. And let me tell you something, working for yourself is 10 times harder than going to those jobs. 100% it's easy to just go to a job, do your job, get paid, done. no real major responsibility, no real care, whatever. However, you know, I realised that wasn't for me, that wasn't the life I wanted to live, and obviously having kids early, it made me realise that, you know, a lot of our lives, children and stuff, are neglected because of work and things, and you have to do it, right? You have to do your thing to get by. But all I would say is, if you're in your comfort zone, maybe you don't want to leave, maybe you don't want to leave that job, or you don't want to tell that manager to, you know, piss off, you're better than this, or ask for that pay rise, or tell that person you're with, just because it's convenient, you've been together for a long time, that actually you're not feeling a certain way anymore, or whatever it is. You shouldn't live life like that. Like, I've always hit things head on. If there's a problem, I'm all about finding a solution. I'm not going to dwell on the problem. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh my God, it's easy for you to say. I'm going to find a way to fix it. And what I'm trying to say is, you know, if you're someone that's going into this weekend and you're just buzzing for the weekend, you're not happy with life, you're looking forward to a bank holiday, which is obviously in the UK, I'm not sure if it's anywhere else, and you're living life like that on a day-to-day basis, you've got to ask yourself, like, why? I think it was Jimmy Carr, and he said 20, 30 years from now, you would give all your wealth to be the age you are now, to be the healthy as you are now. Don't neglect it or waste it. And again, that's why when it comes to the family, I've seen how quick the kids grow up. I want to make sure I'm present. I want to make sure I'm there. I see many adults and many people when I was younger that, you know, have children or that have a partner and they neglect them for this success, and it leaves them with nothing. And that ain't a bit of me. Massive shout out to all of you for watching as always, liking, subscribing. I appreciate you all. If you can share it around, click the button, turn the bell on, 9 AM every Sunday. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Take on board what I said, ask questions of it, see where it fits in your life. And like I said before, if you're not happy where you are in life, do something about it, because the reality of it is something I learned a long time ago. No one's going to save you. You've got to save yourself. And until you realise that and you apply that, you're just going to keep going round and round in circles, wasting time, and you'll never get that time back. Without further ado, I'll catch you all in next week's video. Peace and love, gang.